Hello, my name is Kristen, and I'm going to be going over the basics of BDSM with you today, along with my information about my current dominant and my lifestyle, my personal lifestyle, uh, and DS relationship. DS being dominance and submission. So, where to get started? Okay, I have a notepad here, because this is my first YouTube video ever, and I am terrible at rambling off about things that don't matter at all. So I have a notepad here to help me kind of stay on topic. So anyway, how I got started was I came across a YouTube video, a lot like the one you're watching now, and it depicted a lifestyle that I was really interested in. So I pursued it. There was a link to a website called www.collarme.com. Collarme is in collar. Some people have a hard time understanding the way I talk in America, so I'll try to be as blunt as possible to help you. Uh, anyway, so yeah, I came across collarme.com, and I was on there for probably 6 months. I'm not going to lie, it's a good website for you to find a dominant, but there are lots of creeps on that website too, and I mean lots of creeps. More creeps than any other website I've ever been on in my entire life. But you can basically just pick and choose, and there's filters, so you can pretty much filter out anybody you don't want to message you. You can just filter them out. So anyway, I was on that website for about 6 months or so, and I found my first dominance. It was a couple, so it was, a man and a woman, and it was me. And I was a submissive pet. And pet play is basically when you're taken to a level below human level in BDSM. So like, let's see here, a slave is still considered like a human level. You're still talked to and treated kind of like a human. Um, but pets are not, because I had to eat out of a bowl on the floor. I had to stay in a cage overnight a lot of the times. Sometimes the cage was locked overnight if I got into trouble. So if I, if I pissed off my dominance or my got in trouble at school or something, I would come home and be punished for it. So, and a lot of you are probably thinking, well, why would you tell them that you got in trouble at school? Well, it kind of runs along the lines of, in BDSM, everything is taken very seriously. And you have to be very committed to your dominant or your mistress in order for everything to work. You can't just hold little secrets away from them to keep them from punishing you for certain things. And punishments coming from your dominant should be something that you will not enjoy. So if you are a masochist, it won't be getting a beating, because, masochists enjoy being beat. And sadists, they enjoy beating masochists, pretty much. Or anybody, I guess, I don't know. Ask a sadist. Yeah, so I was with those people for probably 2 years, and I basically just couldn't take it anymore because they were super strict, and they would, if I got into trouble, they would whip me to the point where I would, like, it would draw blood, and I'm not about that at all. I think that's way too severe. I don't think that blood should be drawn. People out there, though, they do like that. There are people who do like having their blood basically beat out of them, which is just insane to me. There's no way I could ever enjoy something like that. So, anyway, so let's talk a little bit about the BDSM basics, okay? BDSM stands for bondage, discipline, sadism, and masochism. Bondage. Bondage is, you're tied up, you're bound to something. So you're like, you're tied up, you're handcuffed, you're suspended, you're locked in a cage, whatever. Yeah, you're bound, pretty much. That could be anything from having your collar on and having your master, have a leash on your collar. That's considered bondage. So, because you're bound by the neck. All right. Discipline. So discipline is obviously discipline. It's kind of self-explanatory. So if you get in trouble, you do something your dominant doesn't want you to do, they find out about it, they will punish you. So you receive a punishment that is not enjoyable to you. Punishments that I receive when I get in trouble are cage time. I spend time in a cage. A lot. Like, sometimes I'll spend, like 2-3 hours in a cage. And you can't stretch out in a cage. You can't stretch your limbs out in a cage, and the cage is locked or whatever. And sadism and masochism, I kind of already mentioned that already. Sadism is, sadist is someone who enjoys inflicting pain on someone else. They enjoy kind of seeing someone else hurt. That turns them on, they get off on that. A masochist is the complete opposite. They enjoy having pain inflicted on them, and they get off on that. So that's how that works. Then you have DS, which is dominance and submission. You have your dominant, your master, mistress, your sir, ma'am, whatever you want to call them. Those are the people who will basically be controlling your life. Some of them are super strict, some of them are kind of lenient. My master he's more on the lenient side and being super strict. The super strict dominants, they will have you, like, some of them will even have you sign a contract saying, that you're turning yourself over to your dominant. Basically, I promised my dominant, and he promised me that we would be bound together in life. So he's my protector. He is in control of my life completely. I'm pretty much just his pet, his toy to do with what he wants. So, and that's something that I like, that you have to be able to enjoy it if you're going to do it. So, a lot of people think it's all just, fun games. There's a lot of weekenders. What I mean by weekenders are people who go out on the weekend and they'll only do BDSM on the weekend. And that's perfectly okay. Those are still, considered, real BDSM people, or I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here, but they're still considered, part of the BDSM family. But they're more referred to as kinksters rather than actual BDSM people or whatever. Okay. Now, in my current situation, I was kind of plucked from where I was living. Um, I was talking to my current master for probably about a year or so before he had me move here to his location, his home, and I am really excited about it. I moved here about a week ago, maybe a little over a week ago, and it has become really interesting. He's nothing like my other dominants were. He's a rich man, and he's very experienced in BDSM. He's been doing it for nearly 20 years. So he's older than I am. Naturally, he's about 22 years older than me, or so. I'm 23, so yeah, that's about right. Okay, sorry, had to get my bearings. I'm not a mathematician. Okay. I told you about me being a kitten. Pretty much, you wear cat ears and you wear like a plug, a butt plug, whatever, with a tail on it, a butt plug with a tail attached to it, and things like that. You eat out of bowls on the floor. You're not allowed on furniture, those sorts of things. You're treated basically the same way a cat would be treated. That was my first experience with BDSM, was kitten play, and I really enjoyed it. And that's kind of my experience now. Is I'm being trained into kitten play once again. But every master and mistress, they're different, so they will train you individually the way they want you to be. So, I mean, you don't just fall into it and, here's your collar, here's this, and now you're my sub and you're giving your life to me, or whatever. It's not like that. You have to earn your collar. You don't just get it. Um, I mean, I think there are some dominants out there who do give away their collar, just basically give it to someone. But that's, honestly, that would mean a lot less, wouldn't it? If you didn't have to work for it. And anyway, don't want to feed this into the dirt or anything, but you do want to be completely honest with your master, your mistress, because I mean, you're basically just screwing up the entire situation if you're not, and you're disrespecting your master or mistress. If you care about them, you care enough about them to want to make them happy, which is your job as their submissive, is to do whatever it takes to make them happy, then, you know, you will respect their life, and you will be honest with them, completely honest, and you won't hold anything back. Um, I was also a slave at one point, which consisted of doing pretty much basic, well, I was a domestic slave, so not a sex slave. So I did like chores around the house, I washed dishes, and all those sorts of things. And I hated that situation. That situation was not for me, so it did not last that long. I also was a part of a sadomasochist relationship or whatever, and I don't know. I think at that time period in my life, I was just really needing someone, and I kind of fell in love with a sadist um, who I met through the local community, because from my first experience, I was already, in the community, and I met him through the local community, and I I kind of enjoy couples, so like I like to be the submissive of a couple. Um, Right now I'm just the submissive of one person. But that's perfectly okay. I love my master. He's a great man. He takes care of me and feeds me, puts a roof over my head, and I will do whatever it takes to make him happy. And I'm not wearing my collar. I have a training collar, but I'm not wearing it right now because there's no training going on. I also have or haven't, some of my older collars from my other relationships, but you're not allowed to use your older collars from your other relationship. Your collar is like a gift to you. Once you've earned it, it's a gift to you, to prove that you are committed. So once I am pretty much bound and committed to my master, which is basically now, but he doesn't see it that way yet. So I have to continue to prove it to him. He will collar me. So then he will have a collaring ceremony and put a collar around my neck. I think the collar that he's using, there's two collars. You have a day collar, which is the collar that you wear around during the daytime. It's kind of less revealing of your lifestyle. Basically, it looks kind of like a necklace. And then you have your play collar, your real collar, which in this case, mine is like a titanium bar that is circular and wraps around your neck and has a D-ring, which is the ring, that things can be attached to on the front of it. Also, if there's a bracelet, and he says that I will be required to wear the bracelet 24/7. And they have like some sort of weird pin that goes through them that locks them, so you can't take them off. Unless he wants them to come off. It's not like a padlock or anything. So I think that's it. I think I've pretty much summed up everything that's going on, and I will try to update you about my personal life as it progresses. And there's one more thing. There's this movie, I think it's coming out, called 50 Shades of Grey. There's also a book. And don't be deceived by that book or that movie. It's kind of okay to me, the story and all, but it's not at all realistic. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to tell you about a real life experience, and tell you the basics of BDSM over, a certain amount of time. So it's not going to all happen at once, and I don't know everything about BDSM, so don't judge out there. Don't judge if you know more than me, or if I've said something that's wrong. Don't judge. But the wonderful thing about BDSM is it encompasses so much falls under the umbrella. So it's really it's a wonderful thing. I don't think I could live life without BDSM, honestly. So that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope you follow me, and I will try to produce videos occasionally. I'm not sure how fast I'll be doing that at the moment because this is my first video, so I don't know how fast I'll be able to make videos for you because my life, it's really hectic all the time. So, but I'm glad I had time to do a video for you. totally forgot about one thing. I do have this comp book right here, okay? And this book is to write my rules down in. So any rule that my master comes up with, he writes down, and I have to write it down inside this composition book. So that way, if I mess up, um, he'll just show me this book, and then he'll have a good reason for punishing me, even though he doesn't need one, to be honest. Okay, so I think that's about it. I don't want to talk your ear off anymore. Maybe I can get more in depth with this in my next video. I hope that I helped you. If not, I'm sorry. Um, but just like my video or hate it, whatever you want to do. Don't be too harsh, and I'll see you later. Okay, bye guys.